Here's a quick sneak peek at the project I'm going to be building over the next 2 videos. Massive shout out to Drew at Fisher's Shop. I'll put a flag up to his channel because he provided the plans that I used to do this, and it would have been much more difficult without him. Sit back and enjoy, and I hope you like my first hardwood project. To start this project, I have designed some templates which I have stolen / modified off the internet and YouTube. I'll put the link down to his video anyway because he did a great job for guitars. However, I need to shrink down his plans to ukulele size, which I have now done, taking measurements off my wife's ukulele. This crosshair trick I stole off Woodworking for Me Immortals. As usual, I don't have a window in this garage, so I've just shined a light through a clear container, which will let me line up those stencils. This is the last bit of the Tasmanian Oak board that I have. Well, that worked out quite nicely. I just trimmed off a little bit of this offcut and it was the perfect size for here. And I've also got the colours matching up too, which is quite nice. So now I'm going to joint these boards before I start to cut out the shape, so that way I've got a nice straight, easy clamping job. First stage down. Shouldn't be too hard, this one, he says, before it takes 6 or 8 hours. Fortunately, I'd left my router table set up in jointing mode from when I jointed the big boards for the Australia path tag holder yesterday. Today it's going to be hopefully an easier little job, but in case you didn't see that, click the flag up the top here and it will take you to how to make this split router fence, which I use for my edge jointing. The left fence, the outfeed fence, is exactly in line with the blade. I've been spaced out by a single washer's width here. When I'm feeding, I'm going to be feeding this way, and you'll see that hits the blade by 1 millimetre, taking off a tiny amount, meaning when these two go together, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there is currently a little gap there, okay? They don't line up. They're close, but they're not perfect. This helps to make them better. Also note the high-tech vacuum port. I haven't built the little enclosure yet, but log works. Now obviously my jointing table isn't perfect compared to a commercially bought option. And when I jointed those big Australia boards, I noticed that while this lovely join here was good, when I flipped them over, it wasn't as nice on the back because there's a tiny little angle where this router bit I think is not perfectly 90. So while I figure out how to correct that, there's actually an incredibly easy fix. If I take this board, I know that if I rotate it, the angles are going to realign because they're going to be perfectly opposite to each other. And that looks really nice on both sides. So that's the hack I'm going to use until I can tweak this a little bit. One down, one to go. I thought I'd save you the monotony of watching me glue up yet another set of panels. It's time to take off the clamps for the ukulele stand, and I am hella nervous. I just had a chronic jointing fail on my Australia path tag holder. You might sort of guess I'm filming these 2 videos interchangeably. And long story short, my jointing is still not up to speed. It just fell apart completely. So I am a little bit scared here of pulling these apart, and I'm going to give them a slight stress test because when I start cutting it with the jigsaw to get the rough shape, that's when the other one fell apart. And well, if it happens here, I can try and fix it, but that's just more time, and Christmas is coming. Let's see how we went. That looks pretty good. There's no wobble there at all. So I'm hoping that's going to hold together. Let's check the L. And it looks okay. Again, jointing shorter boards, much easier than jointing the longer boards. So, let's see if I can put these 2 together and hope they don't fall apart under the jigsaw's minuscule power. I quickly sanded off the glue just along the joints there. Now I'm going to use some spray adhesive to attach my templates. As usual, give that a few seconds to dry. tried to put that joint over a thicker bit of the wood so that I have the max amount of glue, because that's going to be a weak point right there. Alright, now this is where it all fell apart, literally, with the Australia path tag holder. It's when I started putting the vibrations of the jigsaw through, I lost my joints. Cross your fingers, let's hope it doesn't happen again. So the combination between a very hard wood and underpowered jigsaw, which I'll move my hand away from the blade of, and me being rubbish, that just feels like hard work. The cut's fairly clean, but you know, I can either come back and just get really close with the router, or that's going to put a lot of work onto my router. Mind you, it probably has more power than the jigsaw. Or I can try and do another pass. So this is just the sort of stuff that you see on YouTube and they go, just cut close to the line. It's an awful lot harder in reality than it looks like on a bandsaw at the very least, or even with perhaps a better jigsaw. I mean, it was a very cheap little unit, but I already am feeling that on hardwood it is struggling a lot more than I'm used to. So hardwood is hard to work with if you are a novice, it would seem. Somewhere I must have seen or read that using high teeth per inch blades is preferred on hardwood. And well, that is either just a mismemory or something that I don't need to take into advice too closely, because I decided to go the other way. I had a 6 teeth per inch blade that I got in my lovely little multi-pack, and going to that made my life a lot easier, particularly going with the grain. I mean, that's already pretty smooth for the most part, and I'm going to be routing all of these down to the line anyway for accuracy. So that's my L done, and got the Z to go. It's taken a long time, but it's satisfying to have a result that hasn't fallen apart yet. The jointing held up. That's how I envisage these cuts going. Getting better. Slowly, but getting better. Nope. Just like my Australia board, the vibration from the jigsaw led to catastrophic jointing failure. So, I have come to the conclusion that unsupported jointing is not something that I am currently capable of. I don't know if Titebond's any better. I'm currently using a standard PVA wood glue. I can actually get Titebond, Carbotech I should say, do stock it. It's actually not any more expensive, so maybe we'll see how we go with that. Might call that a day. When it gets frustrating, it's time to get out of the workshop and do something different, I think. Another rainy morning, but at least I've got some relative peace and quiet to try and fix this dodgy glue up that broke the other day on the ukulele stand. What I've done is I've taken my circular saw and I've trimmed millimetre off there to try to square up those poor angled cuts that the router made. So the router blade was on a very small angle, and that's what I believe made the joint fail. In a happy coincidence, what I think I must have done with this one is flipped one of the pieces so that the two angles compensated for each other, and that's why I can't even really see the seam. I can feel it, it's right along there, but that's why that one held, I think, and this one failed, and my big Australia one failed. So I've made a doweling jig. Got myself a new Brad Point 8mm bit and some 8mm dowels, and what I'm going to do is drill holes in my 2 bits of oak like so, and then that extra gluing surface is going to help give that joint strength in that direction. I would actually like to put 2 holes in here, but I've got a very small area to do it. So this collar is great, because what I've done is I've knocked up this little hardwood jig, bit of the offcut of the oak. So when I push this in and drill, it's going to go down to exactly half, a tiny bit over half the depth of those dowels. So it even comes with these little pegs, which you can shove in there. So when I made this tester, obviously the positioning wasn't important, but now you can push those together like that and end up with an accurate mark to start your hole on the second piece of wood. So I'm going to give it a go. This is sort of mission critical, I suppose. If this buggers and I split the wood out this way by going too close to the edge, there'll be no solution other than to get a new piece of oak and start again. No guts, no glory. I'm hoping now that I have straightened my route a bit that future edge jointing will be easier. And I also got a good hint from my mate Rog, who I sent the prototype Australia path tag holder to, and then found out that he was actually a cabinet maker. Kind of scary sending your first real woodwork project to someone, second after the money box, but brilliant because he's now given me tons and tons of advice, including don't use PVA glue if you can avoid it on oak. It doesn't work because the fibres are so dense. The PVA glue isn't as strong. So I'm going to have to look into some tight bond and just support the American market of that type of yellow wood glue in the future. However, let's do the risky bit now and try and put 2 small holes in here for some dowels and then re-glue this up. Alright, so I've got the first one done. They're not perfectly center, but with a homemade jig and no dual press, it's acceptable to me. Didn't split out the wood, which is the main thing. Now, let's try the second hole. So how I get it is I line up this arrow to where I want the hole to be. Because they aren't perfectly center, I have to make sure the orientation is exactly the same as well. That locks it down nicely, and that gives me a fairly secure drilling access point. And the last thing I'll do is just clamp it to the workbench as well. Oh, one day for a drill press. See how we went. Okay, got 2 even holes, evenly off center. So now we can put in these little plugs. All right. The clamp pressure to mark these spots. That should do it. And there we go. They look even more off center. All right, let's see how my dodgy jig went. I think I've lined those up pretty well. Acid test, plugs, nice and snug, that's good. Not too snug, I want to get them out again so I can glue it. Oh, that feels and looks great. Happy with that. That's already, just even without glue, I can feel the strength in that. So, look how off-center that is. But they are lining up using that jig. I suppose as long as they're roughly center and they've both got the same align, I'm hoping, really hoping this holds because my skills are becoming exhausted at my current beginner's level in terms of trying to join these things together. All right, let's whack some glue and clamps on there and try to do something else while it dries. I've also run out of my old glue pretty much. This is still PVA, but it's a more expensive version, so I'm hoping there's less water in this one. If it's Sellies, it's meant to work. Let's test that theory. However, I am going to keep my old bottle. Parfix. Look, the Parfix has done well so far. It's just I probably shouldn't blame it for my inabilities. Refilled glue bottle. That was probably 10 times too much. That's going to go everywhere. One hole just seems a bit tighter. Maybe there was nothing wrong with my peg before. It's too much glue. All in all, in terms of the dowels holding them aligned, I'm pretty happy with that. Now the question will be, are they going to add enough strength to my non-properly jointed edges to hold that very small surface area together? Well, that's been 4 or 5 hours now, and in the meantime, I've managed to make a new version of my router inset, which is actually 90 degrees. Which should help avoid this problem in the future by being able to edge joint better. Test unproven. For the moment though, this should have been long enough. I'm scared of glue again. I got better, and then I got scared again. This glue is reinforced with those dowels. I'm actually going to give it a tweak. I'm not being super gusto with it, but it feels alright. And it looks alright. It's not perfect by any shape of the imagination, but I think it'll do. The real test will be when I start getting the jigsaw out again and trying to cut through it and see what the vibrations. Luckily, I've already cut most of the work here. The biggest worry I'll have is when I'm finishing that with the router. I'm gonna have to go really, really slow because I fear the router grabbing that and tearing it apart. But for the moment, I'm hoping my dowel joints have worked. I've got my super aggressive 6 teeth per inch blade in here. I've got it clamped up as good as I can, including over the weak point. Wish me luck. I really hope this doesn't fall apart again, or wifey ain't getting a Christmas present and she'll be cranky. You know the best thing about having a router table? Is I get to sit down. I've been on my feet all day. That's my rough jigsaw cut. And this is what I want it to look like. So that's the one that didn't break, and I have already used the straight bit, which is what I'm going to do now, to cut all the way up to the line, make that very accurate. And then I've used my 5mm round over bit to just take off all the sharp edges. So if I can get that done today, I'm going to call this highly successful after a week or so of struggling with the jointing. Hasn't broken yet, but this is going to put a lot of stress. We'll see what happens. Well, that's done, but I had a disaster. The handle of the Z clean broke off under the power of the router, and there was massive kickback. It threw it all the way across the room. So I'm glad I was sitting here and on the appropriate side, and it went safely off into the nether. But I mean, look at that, that's solid oak. It was the thinnest part, so it's just grabbed on a little bit of grain and completely done that. I have two options. I can either dowel and glue this like I did previously. It is a perfectly flush fit, funnily enough, having broken along the grain. Look at that, beautiful. Or I can just cut down the other one. This bit was purely decorative to make it a Z, like in my wife's name. So if I can save it, I would like to. My next problem is that I'd like to make these nice and even. You can see there's a little bit of a difference between them, not a lot. A flush trim bit would be great, except my flush trim bit is not big enough to do 19 mils. It's only 12. Fortunately, the Makita router kit came with this little extension arm, which allows you to turn any bit into a flush trim bit. I've used a straight edge to line up the blade there, and then I can clamp this down to a table and run it that way, hopefully, as a handheld router. There we go, they're pretty even, and they even stand up properly. The last thing I'm going to do today before the neighbours get cranky because it's nearly 6 o'clock is install the 5mm round over bit, which I've already applied to this one the other day. It's just going to take off all those really sharp corners. Then we have some sanding to do and to reattach that broken handle. Very successful day though. I'm in a much better mood now that I've looked like I have been able to fix my jointing problem. The dowel is challenging. It's a very strong joint though by the appearance of it. Also happy with the new router table.